Definitely. I think, in South Africa, we're not quite where we would like to be when it comes to mental health or mental illnesses. There's still a huge amount of stigma in our communities. And this is largely due to the fact that a lot of people still do not understand mental illnesses. There's a lot of myths around what causes mental illnesses. And also people find it difficult to define, mental illnesses. There is, if you look at the African languages, for example, there is not even a single word that describes depression as a type of a mental disorder. So therefore, I think, out of ignorance, and I really qualify this respectfully, that because people aren't aware, people aren't educated about mental illnesses, then they tend to actually stigmatize it. I think it's fear of the unknown. People don't really understand mental illnesses, and therefore they then come up with myths which, as we know, they then fuel the stigma. But then again, because of the stigma, there's also another dimension which it's very critical that we become aware of, and that is self-stigmatization. Where people suffering from mental illnesses, they tend to self-stigmatize out of fear of being rejected, out of fear of discrimination, and that really, I think, it's a far worse, severe consequence of stigma when it comes to mental illnesses. Look, I definitely think that it is possible to turn the tide. So education is very, very key. And certainly, engaging in media platforms, going into our communities and running workshops, series of workshops to educate our communities about mental illnesses. But not only educating the communities, but targeting key individuals like community leaders, like traditional healers, educators within our communities to ensure that they are empowered with the necessary information, and that will then empower the people and create that awareness, and people will then begin to understand that mental illnesses are medical illnesses just like any other medical condition or medical disorder that a person can suffer. Diabetes, hypertension, asthma, they are all medical conditions. And I think definitely with the education, the information, the awareness that we create, certainly we can start to empower our people and start changing or destigmatizing mental illnesses. I like this question because, mental illnesses, they do not discriminate. They're not interested about your skin color. They're not interested whether you are male, female. They're not interested with your social, class or standing. So they do not discriminate. So it's a very democratic, set of illnesses. So therefore, they can affect anyone at any given point in time of their life, be it male, female. There is a misperception out there that mental illnesses tend to affect more women than males. Unfortunately, this is largely due to the fact that the statistics that are available, they tend to count more females because largely females are the ones that are coming to present with mental illnesses. With males, we are really brought up to believe that we are tigers and we don't cry, and therefore we can't really show our emotional and psychological distress. But we understand and we do know that males are equally affected by mental illnesses. That's an interesting one. As I mentioned earlier on about discrimination, we find that a lot of people that are suffering from mental illnesses in the workplace, they become very afraid to actually say or express or disclose, that they are suffering from a type of a mental disorder. Again, the fear there is that they will be discriminated, because you get these words that are thrown around that, oh, so and so, be careful of that person, that one is crazy, that one is this. And these are the kind of words that then actually fuels the stigma, fuels the discrimination, and therefore in the workplace, the last thing you need is to be judged by your fellow colleagues that you are actually weak, that you are not competent because of your mental illness. And therefore we find that a lot of people find it very difficult difficult to come forward in the workplace. But also we know there has been cases of individuals that have been, open about their mental illness in the workplace, and actually they've had to suffer quite, consequences, where they then get dismissed, they get sidelined, they get treated differently and discriminated. And therefore, this is the kind of thing that really makes it very, very difficult in the workplace for a lot of people to disclose and to really share what is it that they are going through. Is that there is help. You don't have to actually go through this alone. As the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, we are here to help our communities. We are here not only to provide information about mental illnesses, but we're here to offer support. We are here to really walk this path with you. There is help. Reach out to us, and we've got trained counselors that really will be able to hold your hand and really go through this journey with you. We also have got experts that work together with us, where we are able to refer you, be it to a psychiatrist, be it to a psychologist, be it to a hospital, where you can actually get the help, the medical help that you so require. So there is hope. Do not think that you are in this alone. Give us a call, get in touch with us, and we'll be able to assist you and start offering you those alternatives.